Hey guys, I'm gonna be doing a movie review for Together. Together was a really good movie. Yeah, I was very impressed by it. The pacing was great, the acting was really good, cinematography was good. It wasn't like standout or anything, but it was still pretty good. Um, the the soundtrack was good. Um, yeah, so let's get into it. So I walked into this movie. I did smoke a tiny bit before this movie, and I'm glad I did. I honestly kind of wish I was a little bit more high for the movie. But still enjoyable, still a really good movie. Um, but yeah, it starts off with this very kind of eerie feeling. And it starts off with the two dogs. I'm not gonna spoil about the two dogs, but you can probably kind of guess what happens if you've seen the trailers. Um, and yeah, it kind of goes to this couple, and you can kind of tell like they're both in a tough place right now. Not just a tough place; it almost feels like there's a distance, and that maybe they're unsure of each other, which is what it is. Which you find out later. That's what's happening. Um, Alison Brie's character proposes to him, and he doesn't say yes. Um, and he says yes very late, and at that point, he doesn't actually mean it. They get into bed, and he basically just tells her he's sorry, um, but yes, he would like to get married. But I liked that Alison Brie's character was able to acknowledge that maybe there's something wrong in the relationship and that maybe they should stop seeing each other. I like that she was able to have that tough conversation. Um, and that's another thing. Alison Brie's character and James Franco's character were very good, and they were both really they did a really good job in their performances. James Franco did a really good job at just expressing his terror, and Alison Brie did as well. Um, her like facial reactions, her panic, her fear was really good, and then also like she has this very like caring um, energy to her when it comes to her partner. Um, and so did James Franco, or yeah, Dave Franco's character. Um, his character seemed a little bit more douchey, just a kind of bit sometimes. Like when there's a scene, and she's like, "Oh, I'm okay, by the way," and yeah, it was like it's kind of a little telling about where his character's at, and where hers is at. Um, but you do kind of find out a little bit about what's going on with this character. He's going through a tough time. Um, and one another thing I really liked about this movie was like the horror aspect. Um, it's I don't know if any of you guys have seen Midsommar, but there's when I first went into the movie theaters to watch Midsommar, I was not a big fan of horror movies. Every single horror movie I saw sucked. It was very cliched. Cinematography was very basic. This was back at a time where like I was not even exposed to good cinematography because I didn't really even know that movies had cinematography like this. And then one of the first scenes Midsommar had was, of course, the parents dead, and they have all this like these pipes like shoved in their mouth, and they've died from gas suffocation. And it was such a like horror eerie shot. I had never seen anything like that in a movie, right? Like some movies might have a kind of scene like that, but they don't have the shot. They don't have the cinematography for it. And this movie had that. Like, there's like the scene where Dave Franco's talking about his parents, or where he's having a nightmare. Was really good. Um, Also, you felt the tension too. When Dave Franco's character is having a panic attack, you feel it. You really feel the tension of this movie. There are just some moments where it's like, oh fuck, what's about to happen? Like where there are moments where it's like I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's like, um, and once you watch the movie, you might know what I'm talking about here. But it's like, oh, what are they gonna do here? But yeah, this movie was really good. I would rate this a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. It wasn't perfect, but I think it was one of those movies that doesn't really do anything wrong. Um, I think it was very well written. There's not really any plot holes. There's no plot holes, and the pacing was good too. It never really felt like there was a slow moment, or I was like never waiting for it to drag on. Um, it is a long movie, so I think that should tell you something that the pacing is pretty good. I think the only thing I was a little disappointed in was like with the ending. Um, but I have my own like reason for that. I thought the movie had this like sort of intellectual undertone too, where it's talking about codependency, and I love that aspect of it too. Um, if you liked Heretic, I think you might like this movie. But yeah, I think this was a really solid movie.